Hello students, welcome back to your computer science class. I am Mrs. Jenny Shah and we are doing chapter 11 manipulation, list manipulation. Today we're going to start with understanding which functions are there for us to use in lists. So in the last few classes you have learned that lists are mutable, how to compare two lists, how to join, replicate and slice a list. Today we learn about the list functions. The first function is the index method. This function will return the index of the first matched item from the list. So let's say if the list has the values 13, 18, 11, 16, 18, 14. Over here you can see there are two elements of the number of the value 18 in the same list. If I use the index method, that is the name of the list L dot index, and in the brackets I mention the value 18. It will return the first index value of the value 18. Even if there is another 18 at the index value 4, it will still return back 1. Second method is append. Append means adding at the end of the list. This method adds an element or an item at the end of the list. You write the word L.append and in bracket you mention the value you want to add. If it's a string value, you mention it in quotes. It's not a string value, it's an integer value, you can directly write it. Next is extend. Extend method takes a list as its argument and it appends all the elements of the argument list to the list on which extend is applied. So let's say there are two lists, L1 and L2. L1 has 1, 2, 3 and L2 has 4, 6. If I say L1.extend and in bracket I put a list, that is list 2, it will add all the values of list 2 in list 1. So now my list 1 will have the values of list 1 as well as list 2. This is similar to concatenation, but we are doing this with an inbuilt function extend. The fourth method, inbuilt method, is insert. This function inserts an item at a given position. For example, L1.insert 2, 4. Here I am asking Python to insert the value 4 at index position 2. So let's say if earlier the value was 1, 2, 3, now it will become 1, 2, 4, 3. Then comes the pop method. Pop method removes an element from the given position in the list and it returns it. If no index is specified, then pop will remove the last element. So let's say I have a list with the numbers 1, 2, 4, 1, 6. If I write L.pop without any element number in the bracket, it will remove the number 6. But if I write L.pop in the bracket 0, like you can see over here, I have LE. This is a variable that is holding the value that this method will return. This method returns a number, returns a value. It is going to return the number. Oh, it's written 0 here, so it will return the number 2. So if I print element, it will have the number 2. At the same time, the list L will not have 2 inside it anymore. So, sorry, it was 1. So element would have the number 1 in it and it will pop it out. So now 2 will be at the 0th index. Remove method. Remove method will remove the first occurrence of a given item from the list. So if I say L.remove 1, it will remove wherever the first encounter of number 1 is. Seventh method is clear. Clear removes all elements from the list and makes it an empty list, and it doesn't return any value. So which function was returning a value? Pop method. Next is the count method. Count method again returns a value. Wherever you have returned a value, you must have a variable to catch it. It returns the count of the item that you passed as the argument. So if in a list there are more than one times a number repeating or a string repeating, you can use the L.count method to count the number of occurrences. This comes handy when you can convert a string into a list and then you count the number of occurrences of a particular alphabet or a word. Next is the reverse method. Now in the reverse method, it reverses the items of the list. So let's say my list was 13, 18, 29, 34, 18. Now my list has become 18, 34, 29, 18, 13. Okay, L.reverse method will reverse the entire list. Next is the sort method. Now, the sort method will sort the items of a list in an increasing order. If it's alphabets over here, it's going to be in the increasing order of its Unicode values. Okay? For decreasing, if you want to use decreasing order, you don't want to use ascending, you want to use descending order, then you must write reverse equals to true. That means you want to go in the reverse fashion. Okay? We'll again go through these methods. Once again, we are only doing methods today. I want you all to understand the meaning of every method clearly before we get into a few functions. Index method. This function returns the index of the first matched item from the entire list. Append method. This method adds an item at the end of the list. Extend method. It takes a list as an argument and it appends all the elements of the argument list to the list on which the extend method is applied. Insert method. This function inserts an item at a given position. Pop method. It removes an element from the given position in the list and returns it. If no index is specified, pop method removes and returns the last element. Remove method. It removes the first occurrence of a given items from the list. Clear method. It removes all the elements in the list and makes it empty and returns nothing. Count method. Count method will count the number of items, the number of occurrences of that value in your list. Reverse method will reverse the entire list, and sort method will by default sort the list in the increasing order. If you want to sort it in a decreasing order, you must write reverse equals to true. With this, children, I end today's class. Short, small class for you to understand the methods and functions of list. I want you all to do in your practical books, page number 94, 95, and then I want you to do 96 and 97 also. Especially the question 7, predict the output. Please self-correct yourselves. With this, I end today's class, children. Stay home, stay safe, take care, keep learning. Thank you.